Hello, I'm Michael Leeds. The International Trademark Association, in cooperation with the International Institute for Conflict Prevention and Resolution, CPR, have created this reproduction of a dispute being mediated. We will see how, through mediation, even the most difficult conflicts can be amicably resolved. And not through compromise, but rather through a voluntary process, guided by a mediator, in which the parties work out their own solutions, based on broader issues, in which they can end up even better off than they were before the conflict began. Our dispute involves two alcoholic beverage companies. Wonderbransky is Russian, with a large, mainly Russian business. Alcopops is an American multinational corporation. Alcopops is preparing to enter the Russian market with Kick Octane, a vodka brand sold widely around the world in this distinctive 8-sided bottle in this red, black striped label. But before Alcopops sales began in Russia, Wonderbransky quickly adapted their old Picobello vodka brand to Picobello Octave in this horizontal red-black striped label, and they placed it on the market in an 8-sided bottle. Well, a dispute has arisen, with allegations flying in all directions. But both companies are members of the International Trademark Association and the CPR Institute, and the two presidents have agreed to meet to try out a non-binding mediation process. Either party is entirely free to walk away at any time. There is no pressure on anyone to agree to anything, and the mediator is not there to make decisions. He's a mediator, not a judge, not an arbitrator. And if the parties want to find their own solution, well, that's entirely up to them. Let's see what happens.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy that you're here in Munich. I hope you had a good trip to Munich. Would you please introduce yourself shortly?
I'm Peter Tchaikovsky, President and CEO of Wonderbransky, Russia, leading manufacturer and marketer of the alcohol products.
I'm Alex Pushkin. I'm Peter's attorney.
My name is Dee Dee Cruz. I'm president of Alcopops Inc., based in Chicago.
Masha Stryver. I'm here as counsel for Alcopops.
Very well, thank you. My name is Peter Müller. I'm from Munich, Germany, and I'm your mediator. I would like to introduce you very briefly into the mediation process. I'm not a judge and I'm not an arbitrator. So actually you are negotiating and I don't decide anything. I would prefer to have a joint session first where we exchange the items we would like to discuss, and I would like to ask each party to present their case.
Okay. As Peter said here, we are a major player in the Russian alcohol market. We have these leading brands, Zenitskaya, Spartakskaya, Dynamovskaya, top of the market vodkas. We also have Picobello, which is high volume. Well, we recently decided to relaunch our brand to make it more tuned to the public demands. We had an excellent registered trademark, Octave, and very opportunely, we do have a license from you people. You remember in 1992, you granted us a license to use this 8-sided bottle, so we decided it would be a good idea to have it. So anyway, we are launching this product now, and now what do we learn? You come here with this Octane product. Not only this product erodes our market, it infringes our precious Octane brand. And what do we see? You now send us an email saying that we are actually infringing your trademark, saying your trademark is well known. We all know that Paris Convention applies to the territory of the country. You've never been trading in this country before.
I don't know if we're looking at the same set of facts. The Alcopops company is certainly well known worldwide. They're the 4th largest spirit provider and distributor in the world. High quality product. The Kick brand is virtually worldwide in its distribution, and in fact has been sold in the Moscow duty-free shops. The eight-sided bottle is famous. It is the signature of the company, the source identifier for the goodwill that our company has worldwide. When we came out with this, you came out with this. Unbelievable. The labeling is picking up on all of the goodwill and fame of our clients' brands. We have issues with respect to Octave. We believe that that was abandoned by virtue of the lack of use. We don't believe that that license is effective after it sat for so many years. Nothing about it is enforceable. We've asked you to withdraw your product.
So, Mr. Pushkin, could you shortly summarize the legal position of Alcopops?
He thinks that our trade race violates the trademark, which they think is a famous trademark. He believes that their trademark is well known under the Paris Convention. He believes that the color design is a specific feature of their trademark and we are copying their color design. And from what I understand, he thinks that the license which they gave us for the eight-sided bottle is not valid.
Thank you very much. Mr. Schreiber, could you shortly summarize the position of Wonderbransky?
Wonderbransky is the major producer of premium brands, and the Picobello brand is popular. It is not the premium brand. We would call it perhaps a lower price point product. One of the primary positions you took was that the Paris Convention would apply with respect to fame only in the territory of dispute.
One point I was making that the Octane brand is infringing our Octave brand.
Okay, what's now very interesting and what I need to know for the mediation process are the business interests you have in the Russian market. If you, Mr. Tchaikovsky, could explain to me what are your intentions in the Russian market?
We decided to relaunch Picobello in due course, according to our business plan. It was done not to, in any way, to impair the sales of my opponents in Russia, but rather it was a stroke of genius in our marketing people. We decided to use this octave word and musical notes on it. So we used the new design, we relaunched, and we did nothing wrong. We have a license, valid license for eight-sided bottle, and we have a trademark registered in Russia for octave word. I simply don't understand what the other side wants.
Mrs. Cruz, would you please explain your intentions, your business intentions in Russia?
Alcopops is one of the world's largest sellers of beverages and spirits, and well known everywhere, including in Russia, and including to Mr. Tchaikovsky and his company. They've had Picobello languishing in the standard brands market, and now they're trying to copy us, trade on our goodwill. They've taken a bottle shape, which is a distinctive, famous shape that belongs to us, and resurrected it from a dead license that we contend isn't even valid anymore. Used that, used a color scheme on their label, which not only is shown with notes and the term octave, but you'll note that on the back of their label are stripes. They're trying to elevate their cheap, not bad vodka by trading on our goodwill, and I think that that's bad faith.
No, I think they don't understand the alcohol market, and I think they're crazy. Я думаю,
They
что они
don't
просто сошли
understand.
с ума.
Oh,
How can
absolutely.
you say we don't understand the alcohol market? Alcopops is one of the world's largest sellers of alcohol, much bigger than Wonderbransky, I might add.
Could be in the
We're here
US,
because
not here.
your company deliberately traded on our goodwill and acted in bad faith. If you ask me, they're nothing less than cheap pirates.
No, stop. Please stop that, Mr. Miller. Stop. I don't want her
yes,
using these words. If she uses these words again, out
Lady
of
and
this room,
gentlemen,
out
I-
of this mediation.
Look,
Immediately,
you're here
immediately.
I don't
because
like
of
it.
bad
We-
faith.
I
we
very
were not
well understand
going to
that
do
you
it in the
are
first place.
upset. I understand that the feelings are running high, so I would propose that we adjourn into a private session?
It's okay to get upset in a mediation, and business disputes can be upsetting. The parties have expressed their feelings and emotions, and now the mediator begins to help each side to identify their critical business concerns.
I would like to reconfirm that everything we say now is confidential unless you authorize me to tell it the other side. So I have to know the business issues, you know. So, Mr. Tchaikovsky, could you inform me about what are your main goals?
Осторожнее.
Хорошо. Well, Peter, before I start, you know, they don't understand whom they're talking to, and it's outrageous. I want an apology. You can write it down in your notes that I would like an apology from her, because it was her who asked me to participate in this strange process of mediation. I want an apology, that's it.
I understand. So, what do you think about the complaints Alcopops has?
You know, I've been practicing trademark law for over 25 years, and I could tell you they have absolutely no legal ground. Besides, we are in Russia, so they're trying to sue in Russia on our home turf. They don't know what they're doing yet.
Well, I just would like our rights to be reinforced. That's all.
So what do you think are the intentions of Alcopops?
Through the grapevine, we heard that they're trying to do a deal with Vladivod, which is a competitor
Vladivod,
here.
yes. I know, actually. Yeah. It's an old Russian
Yes.
distillery.
They want to, you know, trade in our market. They want to push us from our market. You know what they're doing now? They're launching this octane product, kick octane, yes, and they're trying to sell it at a higher price than they're doing it everywhere else in the world.
We think that our market is somehow threatened by kick.
You are afraid that Kick might introduce into the premium and super premium market?
Exactly. By the way, Peter, it's confidential. We promise not to
Yeah,
tell
right,
it to
sure.
the other guy.
Sure.
Yes, Kick octane is threatening our Dynamovskaya, which is lower segment of
Okay.
premium market. However, they have something else. They have high octane brand, which
High
will,
octane, yes.
yes, if they introduce it in Russian market, it will be a disaster. But don't tell it anybody, okay?
I understand. Okay, so this is your main concern?
That's my main concern, right? Yeah, I think it's dangerous. We don't want high octane ever enter Russian market.
What do you intend with the new Picobello brand?
Well, Picobello has always been our business. It's big volume business, and it's sort of engine of our business. I think it's perfect time for Picobello to mature into a premium sort of vodka, and I think we did all right, and we were within our rights.
You have the value for money brand Picobello in the lower priced segment, and in between the premium and the value for money, we have the standard category. If I understand you right, your intention was to have a brand in the standard category.
Yes, I think we needed to fill in this gap between premium and standard, so we did what was right for marketing.
Do you have any interest outside Russia?
Yeah, we got some nice new brands, which are extensions of existing brands, which are coffee flavored, red hot chili pepper flavored vodka.
So I would like to know your intentions with the new sort of vodka.
We think about distributing these products outside of Russia. Potentially, we might be interested in that.
Is there anything you told me now which is not confidential, which I may tell them or ask their opinion to what you said?
Yes, tell them that I need apology. You know, I represent a very serious company. It's 33% Russian government owned. I have to keep face. For the moment, I think that's it. We already explained to you everything.
Okay, so I propose I will talk to Alcopops now.
The mediator repeats the process with Alcopops. Note how he encourages Alcopops to realise that not all issues in dispute are of equal priority to their business plans.
What do you intend to do in the Russian market?
I intend to sell Alcopop's Kick Octane Vodka. We belong in Russia. We're everywhere else in the world. That's our business objective.
As I said earlier, it's incredible that they did what they did, and it's a very emotional thing that we've got going on here. But they use our 8-sided bottle with pulling out some dusty piece of paper from a prior management to try and leverage us against our own worldwide famous brand.
I clearly understand, you know. I need to know more. I mean, what are your real intentions in Russia? Why do you now do the big launch?
Because it's vodka. It's the world's 4th largest selling vodka. We'd like for it to sell even higher. Now this is confidential, of course, but Russia's pretty much the only market, the only good market for vodka, where we aren't already selling our Kick Octane brand, our Kick vodka generally, on a wide-scale basis. And we need the legitimacy of the Russian market to really make it the top brand that we think it is. Okay, and I understood that you're using a Kick Octane worldwide? We do use Kick Octane worldwide. Yeah, so what if they succeed with the trademark infringement? I mean, what happens? It would be devastating to have to market only in Russia without our Octane label, where otherwise we're selling worldwide with that Octane label. Sure. And what about high octane and classic? Do you intend to take those as well into the Russian market? High octane isn't going to get us as big a bang for the buck as Octane will. And frankly, I'm not looking to launch right now any lower level brand than our Octane, which is our best seller. I understand. And the get-up you have, you know. It's critical. It's really not even negotiable as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so you want to have in Russia an exclusive market for the get-up and the 8-sided bottle. I mean, this is really vital for you. That's correct. It's a package. Okay. We're going to be there, one way or the other. I mean, of course, we still have to get our distributor arrangements in place, but that will do. Yeah, that we'll be able to do. Distribution arrangements. You know, the Russian market is a special market, as far as I know from my German perspective, you know. It could be that you might encounter difficulties. Or what do you think if you encounter difficulties with the Russian government, which is a co-owner of Wonderbransky, on your distribution channels?
Well, you know, the Russian government's no pushover. That's an issue. But are you suggesting that we do business with them? I'm not sure I could trust them after what they've done. That's your decision. I'm not suggesting anything. You know, it's your decision. I was just wondering because Wonderbransky have, as far as I know, very good distribution channels, and they might feel insulted, or they may do something against a second distributor distributing similar or the same products in Russia. What would you think if Wonderbransky starts selling their super premium and premium brands in the United States and elsewhere, and making a competition to your high octane and octane? Yeah. I of course wouldn't be happy about that, but I think our business interests will turn more on us making the sales we need to sell in Russia and the rest of the world, because we are confident we can compete at the levels where we are in the market. So may I shortly summarize? You are most interested in the Kick Octane right now, to distribute the Kick Octane in the Russian market. And for you it's very important to have the two-tone stripe and the get-up with the 8-sided bottle. That's correct. I would propose that we join again. I would like to outline the major topics of interest.
Together now for a second joint session, the mediator seeks the parties' confirmation that he has correctly identified the following key issues in dispute as a basis for a proposed discussion agenda. 1. The entry of Alcopop's Octane and High Octane into the Russian market. 2. The use of the Octave trademark on Wonderbransky's Picobello vodka. 3. The issue of Wonderbransky's license and continuing use of the 3-dimensional trademark, that is, the 8-sided bottle. 4. The issue of Wonderbransky's use of the bottle get-up, the two-tone striped label design. 5. The question of which brands are placed in the standard segment of the Russian market. And 6. The question of Picobello's position in the value for money or standard segment of the Russian market.
Do you have anything to add?
Those are certainly points that we've raised.
Yeah, at this stage, I think that's accurate description.
Do you have any ideas on these 6 issues, or do you want to discuss ideas on the issues in private sessions?
We think we are more comfortable discussing this privately first.
Yes?
I think we would agree with
I
that.
agree.
Having confirmed that the issues he has identified are the ones in dispute, the mediator meets with each side separately, again to look for 3 things. He helps them to assess risk.
Okay, since we have now made a list of topics we have to discuss, well, are you sure you will succeed in the trademark infringement case? I mean, what if they just drop octane and start with the kick trademark? Without high octane or octane, you know, just use the kick label, which is well right now.
Yeah, if they delete the word, obviously there is no case.
Yeah.
I mean, because there is no infringement then.
And what if they start intruding into the premium and super premium market?
Well, definitely it's going to be a danger for our business.
Yeah.
It's going to be a disaster.
He looks for business priorities.
Okay. I have this list of topics we made. We have these 6 points. Use of octane and high octane in the Russian market. Use of octave on Picobello brand. The 3-dimensional trademark and the 8-sided bottle. The license contract. The 4th one is the 2-tone striped label. The 5th one is the brands which are placed in Russia. And the 6th one is in which market Picobello is used. I would like to go through these 6 points and try to find out what are your most important concerns. Okay. The first topic we have is the use of octane and high octane. And connected actually is the use of octave and Picobello. Is it a very important issue for you to use octave and Picobello in the standard market? I mean, is this a major interest or is it 5th interest? You know, 1st, 2nd, if we can evaluate it a little bit, assess it.
Well, let me tell Peter what are my main concerns. I don't want high octane to enter the market, right? And if they still launch high octane in Russia, we will keep and fight for this Picobello octave to the end, right?
Right.
But if they will not launch high octane in Russia, we will make a concession on Picobello octave.
Can I put a 4 or 5? Picobello is of less importance.
Right. Picobello has been problematic for us because we have image of premium vodka producers in Russia, and Picobello is cheap vodka.
Okay. So,
Frankly, we would be happy if somebody buys it from us. It's not our strategic interest to keep Picobello octave in Russia. This is confidential.
yes, of course. So just let me repeat. The use of high octane, which means introducing into the premium and super premium market, this is your major concern.
Exactly.
Okay. So then we have use of the 3-dimensional trademark, the 8-sided bottle, and actually the second point is use of the get-up, the 2-tone stripe. What is more important, the 8-sided bottle or the stripe, you know, the get-up?
I'd rather drop these stripes.
Okay, so you want to continue with the 8-sided bottle?
Now, let's theorize first, further. If they would like to get this 8-sided bottle, we might give it to them, but for big money, big money, they need to pay us big.
Yes.
You would agree in terminating the license contract by certain payment?
Or it has to be something equivalent, I mean, in exchange for something tangible.
In exchange for something big, yes.
And he also looks for opportunities for gain that he knows about, even though the parties do not.
So the Alcopops Kick Octane, well, they started using it in the Russian market. Would there be any idea you have how you can profit from Alcopops in any way?
They are eroding our market. They are encroaching on our market share. We could sue them and get the damages.
Watch how Wonderbransky's president quickly picks up a critical and valuable feature of commercial mediation. that it's about the business, not the law.
Well, again, I'm a business person. I understand difficulties of getting into a legal battle, so I think that some concessions need to be made. Now, the most important for me is the distribution rights in Russia.
Uh-huh. You're a leader in the Russian market, and I was thinking whether you would offer your distribution channels to Alcopops. What do you think about it?
Right. In case they persist with their kick product in Russia, we would like to get distribution rights in Russia.
Uh-huh.
And we would like it to be exclusive. I think we are in our rights to demand higher than average margin,
Okay.
exclusivity, and no minimum volume commitments.
And no high octane in the premium, super premium market. And distribution rights of Kick in
Well,
Russia.
ideally, if they enter market with high octane in the very end, we would like to have distribution rights to this as well.
Ah, okay. So you would be happy with high octane as long as you're doing the distribution.
Yes, so as long as we get distribution rights, yes.
So thank you. These are the four major points. No high octane in the Russian premium, super premium market. Distribution rights of Kick in Russia. Use of the three-dimensional trademark, the 8-sided bottle. But octave is number 4, so it's not so important.
Right.
And I would say I would like to talk to Alcopops. And which of these 4 points do you think are confidential? You don't want high octane in the premium and super premium market?
I think we can tell them that.
Yeah. Then the distribution rights of Kick in Russia.
Yeah, you know what?
This is like an offer.
It's
you
a
know,
bit of
No,
uncomfortable
no,
at
no,
that
no.
stage.
I think-
Could you
No, let's
suggest
give
it to
them.
yourself as it comes from you?
Ah, yes.
Yes, he would be pleased to suggest the idea as if it were his own. The mediator now goes through the same process with Alcopops and asks them to prioritise their goals from 1 to 5.
Okay, so may I shortly summarize? You are most interested in Kick Octane, to distribute the Kick Octane in the Russian market. This is the major interest. And High Octane Classic might come later. Very well. I would like to make a ranging, like assessing what is more important for you and what is less important. So would you be able to try to range these points? The use of octane and high octane in the Russian market, the use of octave on the Picobello brand. Then we have the three-dimensional trademark, the 8-sided bottle, and also as a fourth point, the use of the get-up, you know, the two-tone stripe maroon. Okay, the word trademark Picobello. What is more important?
I think for us, the key is the use of octane so that we can distribute Kick Octane vodka. High octane really isn't one of our goals right now. We cannot have Picobello out there using octave. There's just going to be too much likelihood of confusion.
The 8-sided bottle.
Our bottle is really one of our key indicia of source. I mean, that's how the customer on the shelf distinguishes our bottle from all of those other bottles that are just your standard round bottle.
So I
So
would
the
say-
bottle is critical.
So this is an issue I can give a 1 maybe, like very important.
I would say a 1 or a 2.
So you would say it's more important than octane?
Slightly more important, but not much more important.
Okay,
But
so-
slightly more important. If I had to give on anything, and I'm not saying that I'm ready to, I think if we talk about the label for Picobello, we don't want stripes, we don't want our color scheme, but I might be willing to let them use a two-tone color scheme as long as it didn't so closely approximate ours.
Okay, so maybe I can circle the two-tone issue and give it a 5? Like least important?
Yes.
Okay, and no 8-sided bottle. That's what I understood. Okay, and the last point we have is the use of Picobello. I mean, are you concerned about Picobello brand in any market?
That's not a problem. It's when they change their label and start to use the sub-brand Octave that we have a problem.
Okay,
In fact, I think that they should assign that trademark to us, their Octave trademark. Give it back
Good
to
idea.
us. Give us the license for the bottle. Give us the Octave trademark.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you willing to pay something for the Octave trademark?
I couldn't sell an outright payment for the mark to my company, to my board of directors.
Is there something else we might be able to do that we can give them in value? Because they're not going to just give up the license. They're not going to just give up the mark.
Unfortunately not.
Maybe there's something we can do.
Because I was thinking, you know, Wonderbransky, they have huge distribution channels in Russia.
Well, we haven't finalized our other distribution arrangement.
So you would consider Wonderbransky to distribute your Kick Octane vodka?
Well, if they would back off from this entire marketing scheme that they've done, I might be willing to think about that distribution arrangement. But there's no way I could go in that direction if they're still out there with Octave.
Okay. And
They've got the connection with the government.
If they back away from their bad faith conduct and we can get what we need to distribute our... I have to admit, they have an excellent distribution network.
but this is what you would give in exchange. You would exchange the Octave against the distribution arrangement.
Or production.
Time now for a crucial joint session.
Okay, we are back in the joint session, and I had now a further opportunity to understand each side.
One of the classic roles of the mediator is to articulate as a neutral third party what neither side is willing or able to propose directly. Remember, Wonderbransky asked the mediator to express an offer as if it were the mediator's idea. Watch what happens when the mediator does so.
Okay, I would like to summarize what I was entitled to disclose. I understood Alcopops have no difficulties with Picobello brand as a trademark, with having a two-tone label, dissimilar to red color, and no stripes. You do like the 8-sided bottle, which you would like to keep on your branding. On the other hand, you still want Picobello brand in the standard market, but you are not too keen on the 8-sided bottle and the get-up. And actually, this is where we might start. Is this okay? Do you have any further proposals?
You pretty neatly summarized it, as far as we are concerned.
I'm encouraged that you're willing to give up any pursuit of that 8-sided bottle. That's very important to us. However, we also would need to clear the way for our sub-brand, our Octane sub-brand, to freely be distributed throughout Russia.
Exactly right.
I was thinking, you know, during the break, before when you came in, I was thinking you're a leader in the Russian market and you have no distribution channels yet. I was thinking about whether you would offer your distribution channels to Alcopops. What do you think about it?
Well, I would never think about this before.
I don't know what you think.
Sort of a hard decision to make, because I would never think before. But now, as we are moving closer to each other, I would offer you to use our channels to distribute Kick vodka in Russia on several conditions, which is exclusivity. That means you don't use some other distributors, only us. No minimum volume, at least for the beginning, as well as margin a bit higher than average on the market.
What do you think about it? I mean, what?
We'd like to see the license come back to us or be terminated, and your Octave brand trademark registration be assigned to us. In exchange, I think we could think about pursuing distribution. Produce and distribute?
We
It's
know
a bit
that.
premature, I think, to discuss production.
No, I think
What do you
I think
think
it's
it's,
okay.
I
I
mean-
think as business people, we need to think further in the future.
We may be able to discuss that because obviously you have knowledge of the Russian market more than
Right.
we do, perhaps.
We might think about the production, manufacture the Kick in Russia, Yes, we have wonderful facilities, you know that. We can go with a minimum volume if you bring manufacture onshore.
So
to Russia.
production is more important?
Well, it sort of cements our relations together.
There may be some economies for
know
you
what
and
it-
some economies for us.
No, I understand that one of the issues is a high importation tax. Local production is cheaper. You know, you don't have to pay the importation tax.
That's correct.
If we agree on that, we will simply renegotiate the license agreement, right?
The
Is that
license
right?
agreement, we would need to have the 8-sided bottle be used only for the kick octane, and not
Right.
for the Picobello.
Is that what
Yeah,
you...
that's
Is that what
I
you mean?
have in mind.
other words,
Oh,
we would retain our
absolutely.
exclusivity for our famous
Yes.
design.
Talking about distribution, we got some nice new brands, which are extensions of existing brands, which are coffee flavored, red hot chili pepper flavored vodka.
So the flavor type vodka?
You should try it sometime.
Yeah, you should try
Sure.
it. It's very nice
It's
vodka.
just super.
We think about distributing these products outside of Russia. And for these purposes, apparently we need somebody with experience and with huge distribution network. Can we also ask you whether it's possible to distribute our brands, flavored vodkas?
We could consider it maybe a trial basis, not worldwide. That's such a big venture. We could try one country, maybe the U.S.
I think US is a good start.
Okay. So maybe I shortly repeat the major points we have. So you will drop the stripes on the bottle and get rid of the two-tone and the red.
The mediator summarizes the essential aspects of the deal.
Okay, perfect. So I wrote this down, and then I would like you two to sign the agreement, and everything else is taken to the lawyers. So thank you very much. I'm very happy. I guess we have a good solution, and well, I hope you will have some progress in the future, maybe together, and hopefully very successful.
Statistics show that over 8 out of 10 business disputes settle quickly once the parties have chosen a non-binding mediation process. Why is it so successful? Well, as we just saw, the mediator was able to dig down into the very roots of the problem through his discussions with the parties. He was able to calm the situation when tempers boiled over. Then, using his unique understanding of what the parties really want and need, and not just the claims and positions that they've expressed publicly, he was able to guide them to their own mutually attractive solution. We just saw some really important features of successful mediations, such as how the mediator ensured that the parties were always in control of their own destiny. All he did was to control the process. We saw how he used confidentiality, first to get to the president's real business interests, and then how those business interests prevailed over legal and technical argument. And we saw how new value was added into a relationship which previously had either not existed at all or had been overtly hostile. The International Trademark Association and the International Institute for Conflict Prevention and Resolution, CPR, encourage all businesses everywhere to try mediation to solve their conflicts. There's nothing to lose, and as we just saw, the gains can be far more than anyone imagined.